Hi, my name is Angelina Celestin, and my second question asks, how does your media product engage audiences and how would it be distributed as a real world text? My target audience primarily consists of aspiring or professional photographers. Their ages are between 25 and 34, with females being the most dominant viewers. Of my professional photographer audience, only a very small percentage are female, while the rest are male because, according to my research, only 15% of women make up the profession. The majority of the rest of the women would probably be photography graduates or presently studying photography. The key thing I had to keep in mind about this audience was of the kind of people they are. This audience is creative with realistic interests. This is demonstrated in my magazine, for instance, through a topic in my table of contents about how my audience can create better self portraits. They also value their independence and achievements, and this is shown in my magazine through a topic in my contents about how my audience can enter into a monthly competition and win. Also, concerning the actual layout of my magazine, when I did my polls and surveys for my audience interest questions, I found that my audience preferred stories that were short and concise, and also stories that talked about photography itself, like in tutorials. As a creative, unique things especially tend to stand out the most. For example, my cover and table of contents each have a border surrounding it, and this isn't common to spot in other photography magazines. Also, my font for my titles, including my masthead, stands out from other photography magazine fonts because it's more standard, like the Arial font. In other words, it's more straight. A lot of other photography magazines contain a font that strays farther away from the standard font of Arial, as they appear to contain more curving or roundness. I believe that from standing out from other magazines in my font is what grabs my audience attention because it's less conventional to what's typically seen. It also gives my brand a personality, which can further help my audience to eventually become reassured once my magazine brand becomes more well known and loved among other professional/aspiring photographers. Some of my pictures in the table of contents, I had the idea of using a water bottle and putting it on top of a flashlight and using my LED lights in my room, and by editing contrast into my photographs, I was able to create unique photos, and these unique photos also play into the design. Also, the tone in my story in my double page spread reflects the tone that will appear in the other pages, and so with my register in mind, my story gives off a relaxed, friendly tone, and this probably reflects off of my audience's value in friendly and non-competitive spaces. I do also believe that the font interacts with my tone. The font I use for the body paragraphs is called Creative Display, and while it's very similar to Arial, there is a friendlier tone in the font, and that the shapes in the letters are more rounder and that there is more curving. Most see that the design of the magazine grabs their attention the most, which reflects their creative interests, and this also reinforces why me having a unique identity while staying in line with the general format of a photography magazine is important. Most of my audience weren't interested in dark colors, yet a close amount of people weren't interested in bright colors, but thanks to my cover story, I was able to incorporate both light and dark colors. There was a 50-50 on what made a magazine the most special to them, and so I made sure the layout was as meaningful as the double page spread story through the effort I put into it. Lastly, most of my audience said that the picture for the article was what would make them read an article, so I had to make sure my picture was well taken and edited. My magazine will be distributed both digitally and traditionally. Digitally, because of the website under my masthead, where my viewers can visit and connect online and visit the social media pages found on that website, and traditionally because of the barcode on the bottom, letting my audience know it's up for physical purchase in stores for $5.99. The reason why this is the price is because photography magazines typically sell for between $2 and $15, and I did not want to charge anything too expensive since it would repel consumers instead of attracting consumers if it was, too expensive. And through a collaboration with another business, I would be able to expand my distribution reach. This collaboration can be seen in my table of contents where I teach the audience to take better self portraits, as typically a magazine wouldn't feature someone that was already on the team, meaning that I would be separate on another business, collaborating with the business responsible for this particular magazine.